Thank you for joining. And today we are driving RAG, a powerful pattern that transforms how enterprise deploy LLM with private up-to-date data. And this is basically used for those tech leads or code developer. And we are going to talk about what is RAG, why we need RAG, how we are going to implement, what is flow diagram, some of the use cases, right? So let's talk about what is the problem in large language model. So as you know, the large language is very powerful, right? But they are frozen with time, right? For example, ChatGPT, it has never seen your internal document, Notion, Confluence, or DB, right? So your data change and change with time, but model knowledge is up to not that current time. It has past data or some cutoff time. When LLM doesn't know something, it doesn't say I don't know. That's the problem with RAG or GPT, right? So it's generate data answer with confident but with incorrect answer, right? So to think your pure LM is closed books exam, right? It rely only what is in memory for your exams or whatever you read in training data. And in DAG open the book exam, we retrieve right fact your knowledge based on you read, right? Then you ask LLM reason about the fact, define relevant fact first, and then ask LLM reason about that fact. They're not over its training data, right? So basically if I say what RAG is basically three word, right? Retrieve, and then augment and generate. Retrieve is sometimes search across your the private document. Augment, it inject retrieve fact into LLM prompt, and generate is LLM report over the fact, not only training, right? Now let's talk about why we use RAG and real world impact, right? So here is real code we heard. So let's say, right, my company built GPT-4 chatbot. It was confident, it was fast, right? And but the problem is it gave the wrong 30% of the time. First one is it was wrong like before. The reduce hallucination. So fact are provided by LLM that read the summary and not guesses, right? So if you use your RAG, basically you give up-to-date data, right? So it will not guess, it will give accurate information and always fresh in the knowledge. And also access control the tag document with permission, filter query time, fine-tune can't do this, scalable of millions. It's also the scale vector search, scale linearly, pure LLM approach, scale, and RAG is just better and production ready. Now let's talk about RAG versus alternative, right? So you might ask why not just fine tune the model or stuff the whole PDF into prompt. Let's compare, right? So here is a criteria comparison. Scale 1 million document. Chat with PDF we can't do 1 millions, right? Fine tune also not possible. With RAG possible. Private data support, right? PDF also, of course, you fine tune, yes, everything support. Real time updates PDF cannot, but RAG yes. Access control in RAG we can do, but both of other system we cannot. Low cost, of course, it's low cost. Easy to deploy, yes, it's very easy. So RAGs win in terms of flexibility, in terms of cost, in terms of maintainability for enterprise level, right? So now let's talk about, right, how it works, right, for Cortex, right? So let me talk about, right, under the hoods. If you see here, right, we convert text into numerical vector. So which you see in this diagram, what is the diabetes treatment? So it converted into the text, right? It converted into vector, sorry, not text into vector, it's reverse, right? Then embedding. Let's talk about embedding, right? Embedding, I mean, basically RAG we type, and then we use embedding technology which convert into vector, and that captures semantic meaning, right? Semantic meaning, and similar text produce the vector, making retrieval possible. And then we use vector database, right? And these are the here, right, 5 vector database I source. Chrome is open source, local development, Python native, right? Chroma. So Pinecone is very famous, managed production grade serverless. So this is very famous, Pinecone. And then VV8 is open source GraphQL API hybrid search. PG Vector of, I think we can remember, Postgres extension new infra. Quadrant is Rust based high performance filtering. These are the vector database. We can say Pinecone or VV8 PG vectors. Those are very important. Now let's talk about Ingest pipeline building into databases. It's very simple, right? So load, split, embed, store. There is 4 step. Load means PDF, Notion, Google Drive you load, then you split 3 to 500 words chunk and 50 words overlaps. Embed means text to embedding, then the store is vector database. And then it's very simple, right? Like chunk. Okay, now run the Now let's talk about query pipeline, right? Query question you ask like ChatGPT, same natural language query, and then it convert into vector, then similar matrix, then injects into query template, and LLM generates, right? So this is the simple way, right? Flow diagram. Now use cases. If I talk about use cases, right? There is 6 use cases I'm giving, but that can be, you know, deliver measurable ROI, right? Virtual assistant, right? Customers, let's say customer support chatbot grounded in your real policies. No more wrong answer, right? Enterprise search, right? This is ask the plain English across Confluence, try Notion, Google Docs, or so many docs or your databases put into RAG. Legal and compliance. Retrieve cases law studies contract with medical healthcare, right? Clinical assistant grounded approved a prototype. Okay, then RPP sales and response also can use auto draft proposal using your product spec price win. Now education and tutorial, right? Like we can use advanced RAG, Ognetic. So now here is the thing, right? What is the next? For the team ready, they want to level ups, right? Here is the advanced pattern. First one is Ognetic RAG, right? So Ognetic RAG is multi-step retrieval where agent iterate. If the first fetch is not enough, they requery, refine, validate, enable dynamic tools called multi-agent coordination and complex question, right? Dynamic tool called multi-agent coordination handle complex multi-part. Now multi-modal, first one Ognetic RAGs, multi-step retrieval. This is multi-modal. So this RAG is handle tables, diagram, image, and PDF. Charts, not just plain text. Two approach: convert into text, or use VLM. Table charts and GraphRL. This is populate Microsoft abstract entity relationship block, build a graph, enable. Right. This is the things. Now I want to talk about very simple, right? In basic, let's make the concurrent. Here is the minimum working RAG pipeline in 50 lines code. It's very simple. Step 1: load document. Use PyPDF loader and then loader.load. So this is the load rag.py. Now the split into 500 words chunks. So recursive character tags split, chunk size 500, chunk overlap 50, split document docs. So whatever doc you use, this one you pass. Then embed store in Chrome's, right? Chrome document chunk, open embedding, persist database db, and then ask the question. Here is the ready, right? That's very important and very simple. There is not much big, right? Now wrong answer 3% versus 30%, right? That's where RAG is same model, better information. What, why, how, use flow. Start pip is, install LangChain, ChromeDB, OpenAI, then inject your first docs. Yeah, so that's where we just understand what is RAG, all those 5 things, right? Why, what, how, flow, and use cases. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel, use my Medium channels for more information. Thank you for watching.